Okay, in this video, let's take a look at Mackenzie Hughes, good young player out of Canada, won a couple Canadian AMs up there, and just starting to really be a better player on the PGA Tour. Has a swing that it looks like it's really coming together, and we'll see how he plays this week and finishes off this week. But a classic looking golf swing, very simple looking swing, great angles overall. A couple problems in the downswing that I'll highlight that kind of cause him some blocks and hooks now and then, but love the setup, love the takeaway. You can see the club right on plane, club face just dead square to the swing plane. You can see there how the face is just in almost a perfect right angle to the plane, going back, hands, shaft, club, everything on plane going away. Classic position there. That is a study in how to take the club back in a very simple manner. And as he starts to go up right in here, is a little interesting for his move, where he doesn't have quite as much turn as some players have. Not as much overall hinge in the club either, in the wrists. And he'll put a little dynamic move coming down here as he sort of pulls down on the club. And that's going to steepen the shaft just a little here. And we'll see with some video this week if he's changed that a little bit as the week goes on here, just to see how his current swing is functioning. Most patterns are tough to change for any player, but we'll see if this pattern, ideal about in this point here, that shaft would be a little more parallel to the original shaft plane, because it gets a little steep in there. He's pulling really hard downward this way. Then you'll have to kind of come up to recover that move. And basically, if you can extend that shaft down here, it's really in jeopardy of getting under the plane at the bottom there, and that causes shots to kind of get blocked and hooked once that happens. So, love the takeaway. In here, if that thing would shallow out a little better, it'd be ideal. Like I said, right in here, it looks like it's going to get shallow or parallel, and now he's going to have to do something in a raise up move to keep it going. Now he makes a very interesting move, which is kind of harkens back to David Duval, little Annika Sorenstam, where when he's halfway down, his one way of getting that thing around the corner is to really release his upper body and head, turning to the left earlier than some players might. And that allows him to get that club around the corner quicker, where sometimes he doesn't quite make it. He gets a little extra push in the legs, hips come this way, head goes up, and that ball goes off to the right. But he does have good rhythm and a great record for golf, so clearly his mental game and his routine are solid, and these mechanics can always improve, which would help him down the road. This picture here, a wedge going in there, approach shot. See that same great takeaway? Right on plane, face dead square. And let's take a look and see what his body's doing here throughout this swing, how his posture's holding. Certainly perfect right up to the top. And a very simple swing to where he has that face in a square position or slightly closed without a lot of hinge going on there. Once again, there's that little bit of a steep angle as we see. Change its direction a little steeper than the old shaft plane. And there it's under the plane at the bottom, which for some shots, it's going to get him in some trouble. And you can see him just pulling a little away from the original spine angle. But like he said, he's right here, and he starts to get that thing quickly around the corner and on plane. A bit of a unique move. Cool to see some different moves out there these days to get that thing around there. Because like I said, a great amateur record, great record so far as a pro. He's going to have some rhythm and timing to work on to keep this thing working solidly week in and week out. But chances are he's well aware of the plane issues and is making strides to get those working. Now you can see a beautiful rhythm, a slow backswing, very smooth, slow, those great angles. And I think as he gets older and more seasoned, he'll learn to get that shaft better coming down. Less pull on the arms, a little more softness there to allow that thing to flatten out. Like I said, very critical here of a great player, so take that for what it's worth. I mean, he hit a beautiful shot here, and this was a good week for him anyway. But it'll be interesting to see. He did hit some shots in this round that were pretty far right, especially with the driver. And when the driver gets a little bit possibly narrower or steeper in that transition area, that's when it suffers the most compared to the irons. This driver angle here, we can see how he sits down into this shot. Leans a little ahead of it there, and just sits down a little bit. We know it's a little narrow, a little steep from the other video angles, and then up and out of it. Like I say, he's going to be prone to some blocks and hooks. Big miss probably more to the right, but he can get that left shot if it gets under the plane enough. But once again, young player, probably well aware of his tendencies. And once that transition move just gets a little more on plane, this thing's going to be good because he's going to have great club face control with that flatter left wrist, strong grip, closed club face position. He can become one of those players that's rotating through there without a lot of late closure of the club face, and that will make him incredibly accurate down the road as that transition move gets better. This driver's swing actually hit the ball off to the left a little bit, not a lot, just down there into the barely left side of the fairway into the rough by the bunker. Same good takeaway. And this one here, if you just watch the head motion as he tries to recover that club a little bit coming up, right hip pushing a little bit too far out. So he's up out of that posture, which from time to time it's going to, once again, like the other clips in the video here, you're going to get some rights and some lefts. But as he gets better at sitting and turning and can stay down in there and rotate, everything cruising around like what he does with a lot of the iron shots, and I'm sure on some driver shots when he's ripping it down the middle. That's really going to be fun to watch because it's a very cool looking golf swing, a little different, super simple to watch though and emulate. Be a lot of fun to follow his career and see how soon he gets that figured out, because with that kind of amateur record, clearly his mental game is very strong. Well, that'll wrap it up for this video. Thanks for watching. If it's your first time here, please consider subscribing. Hit that like button if you like the video. Have a great week, enjoy the tournament, and we'll see you in the next one.